How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Monsters. This is Season 1, Episode 19, and it's entitled Rain Dance. It originally came out April 22nd, 1989, was directed by Richard Friedman, and stars Kent McCord, Teri Copley, and Betty Carvalho. Now, not gonna lie, right off the bat, I do gotta say, this episode was kind of rough. It's not terrible, but it's incredibly telegraphed, incredibly cliched. It's just very, very standard anthology horror. It's a jerk gets his comeuppance story. We get to see a guy that's taking advantage of the Native Americans and selling their history without respecting it. And we get an old lady who sells them a statue of a death god. And the statue just so happens to be much more person-sized than all their other artifacts. And I think we all know what's going to happen here. And the thing is, when we get to what's going to happen, the statue is cool and creepy, and it does have a few fun moments at the end, but your leads aren't super likable. We had this issue previously with the jerk character in Mother Instinct. Jerks, you gotta write right. You gotta make them compelling, even if we're supposed to hate them, because we're following them throughout most of this episode, and you just this is one where you just want to kind of fast forward to the part where you get to the horse segment where they get their comeuppance, but until then, it's just kind of rough and not super fun to watch. Maybe if I hadn't seen as much anthology horror as I had seen, maybe it would be a little fresher, but the fact is, I've seen variations on this story so many times, and when you put on the episode and you know from really early on basically where it's going, it just gets a little tired, you know? Overall, it's not the worst thing ever. It's just very standard and predictable with not much new or compelling to it. But hey, it's there. Whatever, you know? Anyway, I guess in order to do some analysis, let's take a look at the plot. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, so I'll be avoiding the end bits, but I do want to break some stuff down, do a bit of analysis, and take a bit of a deeper dive. Anyway, we open up with this guy. He's some sort of archaeologist, treasure hunter. It's him and his wife in this cabin in the middle of the desert somewhere. And we find out that he's been buying artifacts from the Native Americans for like ridiculously low prices, like $16 or something. And he thinks he can flip them for tens of thousands of dollars. He has a sort of broker lined up already, so that is insanely high margins, and he doesn't really care about the stuff, and it's supposedly like 100,000-year-old artifact, so really, really pricey stuff that he's just kind of basically taking. You get his wife there who absolutely hates the desert, hates how dry it is, and wants to go out and live a lavish lifestyle, and she demands that they leave today. And right off the bat with the wife, she talks about how, oh, I want to live this lavish lifestyle, but doesn't seem to understand that getting these artifacts and selling them is how they're going to do that. You know, you think she would be much more excited when she finds out, like, hey, this necklace will bring in tens of thousands of dollars, but she doesn't seem to be able to understand, like, we'll get those lavish lifestyles once we're finished here, and when she says, hey, I'm fed up, I have to leave tonight, they were planning on leaving tomorrow. I don't know what the difference this one day will make, but she's like, I want to leave tonight, and the husband's like, we're scheduled to leave tomorrow. So right off the bat, she comes off as incredibly stupid, and I don't get this. I get you want to have tension, but maybe if it was an indeterminate leaving date, and maybe if the financial success wasn't portrayed as certain, I don't know. And like I said, neither one of them are great. They're terrible people right off the bat, and there's not really anything interesting. Maybe if you made the grift a little bit more interesting and complex, like show him maybe digging this stuff up and finding it, make him more of a grave robber character. But as it stands, it doesn't even make that much sense, because these are like 100,000-year-old artifacts, and the Native Americans seem to just have them in their houses and they're willing to sell them for like $16? That just doesn't make that much sense, and it's just way too simple. Buy here, sell here. There's nothing super interesting about it, and it just comes out as underdeveloped. But anyway, we will get that old woman coming in, and she's playing it up, you know, she's being the prophesier of doom, basically, and spouting a ton of exposition. But she comes in with the statue of the death god, and she says people would do the rain dance to this statue, which we don't ever actually see any character do, despite being the title of the episode. But basically, they do the rain dance for the statue, and they'll get rain, but someone will die. So we kind of know where this is going. They buy the statue from her, and then we cut to the middle of the night when they hear something, and they find that the mask, one of their artifacts, has broken, and he begins to suspect that it's a fake, and he threatens to sue every Native American because, I mean, this guy was already unlikable. We didn't need to add more to the pile, but whatever, there we go. And there's also this hilarious dangling plot here where he also discovers that their front door is stuck and they can't physically leave their house, and then they just go back to bed. You know, I think if I discovered I was sealed inside my house with no way to get out, I don't think I would go back to bed, but it needs to be later, so I guess we're just going to go back to bed after all this. Whatever. Eventually we do get to that ending. Like I said, the statue is creepy, and there are enough gags at the end to make it, you know, worth watching this portion. But yeah, I can't help but feel like we could just fast forward through this episode until we get there. Overall, it's just super standard, and it's a plot we've seen so many times. It's just the theming that's the only different part of it. Whatever though, some of these Monsters episodes are hit or miss, and hopefully we'll get a more creative one soon. Anyway though, it's fine, I guess. To everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Monsters playlist. If you guys want to see my reviews of the past episodes in this series, you should be able to find them there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.